Don Draper, John Hamm, had 19 mistresses throughout Mad Men's 7 seasons, not counting his 3 wives, making all of Don Draper's mistresses difficult to keep up with. Mad Men was one of AMC's prestige series that followed the lives and careers of Madison Avenue advertising executives throughout the 1960s. While the other ad men of Sterling Cooper also carried on extramarital affairs, Donald F. Draper had the most by far. While Draper is married to Betty Hofstad, January Jones, the character went on to have an unrivaled infidelity streak. Despite having 2 kids with Betty, Don cheated on her numerous times as his advertising career took off. In Mad Men Season 3, Betty, who long suspected Don's infidelities, learned that he's really Dick Whitman. Betty divorced Don, who then married his secretary, Megan Calvert, Jessica Pear, between seasons 4 and 5. He couldn't stay faithful to Megan either, and despite attempts to keep his private life and work life separate, Don's affairs were well known within Sterling Cooper, and it's obvious that Don had many more affairs beyond what was shown on screen. Regardless of his off-screen affairs, there are 19 of Don Draper's mistresses in 7 seasons of Mad Men. Midge, Rosemary DeWitt, is the first of Don Draper's mistresses introduced in Mad Men's pilot. Midge is a bohemian artist who is a sharp contrast to the slick Madison Avenue ad man. It offers him a bit of escapism from the corporate world as Midge and her friends see it as the enemy of the people. Midge is also a swerve as audiences are initially led to believe she is Don's significant other before the end of the first episode reveals Don has a wife, Betty, and 2 young children in the suburbs. Don's fling with Midge ends in Season 1 when he discovers that she is in love with one of her male friends and she refuses to go on a trip with him. She reappears in Mad Men Season 4 where she is married to someone else. Sadly, Midge has become addicted to heroin by that point and Don cuts her a check as if washing his hands of her before vanishing from her life. Don tended to avoid mixing his affairs with his professional life, but there was one notable exception. Rachel Menken, Maggie Siff, was a Sterling Cooper client who owned a department store. Don didn't pursue his mutual attraction to Rachel until after he ended his affair with Midge, but his fling with Rachel didn't last long. However, Don did confess details of his life as Dick Whitman to Rachel. She was a big part of the Mad Men cast in Season 1 and he even proposes that they run away together to Los Angeles. However, she realizes he is simply running away from his life and using her as an excuse. In Mad Men Season 2, Don runs into Rachel, who is now married, and in Season 3, Don is sad to learn that Rachel died of leukemia.